Did you know that people who do this one simple thing are 70% more likely to live longer? That's not clickbait. That's a real peer-reviewed statistic. But before I tell you what this is, let's talk about what it isn't. For years, we've been told that living longer is all about eating kale, running marathons, or tracking every calorie. Sure, diet and exercise matter, no argument there. But the truth is, many people who live well into their 90s aren't necessarily health nuts. They're not drinking green smoothies every morning or doing yoga at sunrise. In fact, some of them still enjoy a slice of cake or a glass of wine. So what's going on here? Let's bust a few myths. Myth number 1, you need a perfect body to live a long life. Not true. Plenty of studies show that people with a few extra pounds can still live just as long, sometimes even longer than those who are very lean. What matters more is how your body functions, not how it looks. Myth number 2, avoiding stress at all costs is the key to longevity. Actually, it turns out that how you handle stress is far more important than avoiding it. People who view stress as a challenge rather than a threat tend to bounce back better. They recover faster. And surprise, they live longer too. And here's myth number 3. You have to take a dozen supplements every day. Look, some vitamins help if you're deficient. But the research shows that supplements can't replace the deep biological benefits of one powerful thing most people overlook. Here's where it gets interesting. Scientists have been digging into the habits of people in so-called blue zones, places in the world where people regularly live past 90 and even 100. These areas include Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, and Loma Linda in California. Their diets vary, their fitness routines differ. But one thing shows up again and again. People in these regions don't live longer because they have perfect health routines. They live longer because they're consistently doing this one thing, something that's free, simple, and deeply human. Want a clue? It's not about going gluten-free. It's not about a fancy smartwatch. It's not even about how much you sleep, although that matters too. The answer isn't on a nutrition label. It's not hidden in a fitness app. It's something older generations often did naturally, without needing to be reminded. And here's the kicker. In our modern, fast-paced world, we're doing it less and less. As a result, we're not just living shorter lives, we're living lonelier ones. Let me share a quick study with you. In 2010, researchers at Brigham Young University analyzed data from 148 studies involving over 300,000 people. What they found shocked the medical world. People with strong social relationships had a 50% increased likelihood of survival across all age groups. Later studies pushed that number up to 70%. That's right, 70%. The study controlled for diet, smoking, and exercise. It found that social connection, regular, meaningful contact with others, was a stronger predictor of lifespan than obesity, inactivity, or even heavy drinking. So if you're sitting there thinking, I eat healthy and I walk every day, I should be fine. That's great. But if you're not regularly connecting with others, laughing with friends, feeling seen and heard, you're missing one of the most powerful ingredients for a long, healthy life. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't have a big social circle anymore. Or, my family lives far away. You're not alone. In fact, loneliness is on the rise, especially in the US and UK. According to a study from the National Academies of Sciences, 1/3 of adults aged 45 and older feel lonely. Among those 65 and up, that number climbs even higher. But here's the good news. It doesn't take a dozen close friends to get the benefit. You don't need to throw dinner parties every weekend or become the neighborhood social butterfly. Even a few small, regular moments of connection can create a major shift, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Phone calls, coffee chats, volunteering once a week, joining a local class, even if it's just to chat with a few people afterward. These small touches add up. They change the chemistry of your brain, they lower cortisol, they boost immune function, and they light up the very regions of the brain associated with memory, joy, and motivation. Think about it. When you're connected, you're more likely to laugh, more likely to move, more likely to eat meals at regular times. All of these feed into each other. It's a loop, a good one. And yet, we often brush this off. We think it's optional. We tell ourselves, I'm just busy, or I'm not a people person. But biologically, we are wired to connect. It's not a preference, it's a survival mechanism. So what is this powerful habit that makes you 70% more likely to live longer? Human connection. Real, regular, meaningful social interaction. That's it. It might sound too simple, but the science behind it is rock solid. When we connect with others, whether it's a friend, a neighbor, a partner, or even a kind stranger, our body responds. Oxytocin levels rise. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Our heart rate evens out. Blood pressure lowers. Inflammation decreases. Even our immune system gets a boost. It's like your body is saying, I'm safe. I belong. Now let's break this down into 3 key ways. Social connection impacts your health and lifespan. First, it protects your heart. Researchers have found that people who feel socially isolated are 29% more likely to develop heart disease and 32% more likely to suffer a stroke. Why? Chronic loneliness triggers a constant low-level stress response. It keeps your body in a state of alert. That increases inflammation, which wears down blood vessels and makes heart problems more likely. But when you feel connected, even with just 1 or 2 trusted people, your heart gets a break. It beats more steadily. It doesn't have to fight the stress hormones that come with feeling alone. Second, it sharpens your brain. People with regular social engagement have a significantly lower risk of cognitive decline and dementia. According to a study published in The Lancet, social isolation may increase dementia risk by up to 50%. But when you talk, listen, laugh, or share a story, your brain lights up like a Christmas tree. You're activating memory, language, emotion, and reasoning all in one conversation. That's better than any crossword puzzle or brain training app. And third, it gives you purpose. This one's a little less talked about, but just as powerful. Having someone to care about, someone to check in with, talk to, help, or simply spend time with gives life a rhythm, a reason to get out of bed, a reason to keep going. And purpose, as researchers have found, is directly tied to lower mortality rates. It boosts your will to live, especially during illness or hardship. Now you might be wondering, where do I start? You don't need a giant social life. You don't need to host dinner parties or suddenly become an extrovert. Start with one small, intentional action. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while, even just for 5 minutes. Take a short walk with a neighbor or invite someone for coffee. Join a group, a book club, a walking group, a community center event. Even attending a local lecture or volunteering once a month can help you meet people who share your interests. And if mobility or location is an issue, technology can help. A weekly video chat with family, a phone call with a friend, even regular messages in an online group where you feel safe and heard. The trick is consistency. One chat every now and then is fine, but your body thrives on regular, low-stress interaction. It's like medicine, but better. No side effects, no prescription needed, just connection. And here's something powerful to remember. You don't have to wait to receive connection. You can create it. Be the one who reaches out. Be the person who says hello first. Be the reason someone else feels less alone today. That kind of action doesn't just change their life. It changes yours. The science says so, and the heart feels it. Let me leave you with this. We spend so much time worrying about what to eat, how to exercise, what supplements to take, and that's all valid. But the one thing that can quietly extend your life, lift your mood, and protect your brain and heart is free, simple, and fully within your reach. A 5-minute call, a weekly meetup, a warm conversation, small things, big difference. So if you're looking for one change to make this year, one thing that doesn't require a gym membership or a strict diet, make it this: connect. Because the people who do this, who build and maintain meaningful relationships, are up to 70% more likely to live longer. And not just longer, but better. More joy, more laughter, more life in every day. So go ahead, call someone, start a conversation, be the spark. Your health and your future self will thank you.